Buddy, we have a big show for you tonight. Great show. We have a travel show, as you can see. We are out here in Yakima, Washington for Cam's fight. That's a crazy subject. We're not going to get into that tonight. Mixed martial arts is a crazy-ass sport. I'm your host, King David MMA. I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, a pro MMA champion, and I coach at Extreme Couture. So we are going to get into some crazy-ass topics tonight. CHAEL Sonnen goes absolutely scorched earth on Ronda Rousey. He put her on blast, threw her ass right under the bus, ran over her, and backed up over her again. Man, that was pretty brutal. And then we also have Dana White going in on Jon Jones. He kind of just put Jon in his place, obliterated him, went in on him, checked him. I don't know what you would call that, man. He had some crazy statements about Jon that are much different than Jon's interpretation of the situation. But Dana is the big boss, so what Dana says goes. So it must be Dana's way, despite what Jon may have been led to believe. We're going to get into all that. We're also going to get into the MVP card, saying that they're going to announce some new fights. Francis Ngannou's opponent dropped out. He's got a new opponent. And lastly, if we have enough time, we're going to get into one more. So stay tuned for that. We got another big update for you, but I'm not even going to talk about that until I make sure I have time to talk about it. So Fight Circus, home of the Freak Show fights. This is a kombucha right now. We're drinking kombucha with ice. If you like Freak Show fights, crazy ass viral headbutt fights, all that, go see Fight Circus. They are on Instagram at Fight Circus. Furthermore, I want you to think about your gym owner. I want to think about your coach. I want you to imagine $100 bills raining down on them, and then putting their arm around you and saying, thank you. You helped me, man. I built this gym because of you. Send them to Studio Millions. Studio Millions will pack their gym full of students who stay, pay, and refer. Send your coach to StudioMillions.com. Let's get right into it. Top story of the night, CHAEL Sonnen goes absolutely scorched earth on Ronda Rousey because Ronda is going in on the UFC. Somebody must have gave CHAEL the memo that he needs to go in on Ronda because he started his piece off tonight saying, talking about Ronda versus Gina, like, hey, you think that fight should be in the UFC? The last time Ronda was in the UFC, she left on a stretcher. And now you want her to fight a girl who's never been in the UFC, on the UFC, in a weight class that the UFC no longer has? Man, think about how brutal of a statement that is to say to somebody that the last time you were here with us, you left on a stretcher. So CHAEL didn't hold back. We know how CHAEL's feeling, or at least how he's been told to feel by the administration, the powers that be. And man, that's a crazy-ass statement. But, you know, that's the name of the game we're in. We're in a brutal, brutal game. Ronda's going in on the UFC, and now CHAEL is firing back at Ronda. I'm excited to see what Ronda says back to CHAEL because she could say some things back to CHAEL as well. I'm excited to see if she even hears about it, notices it, or someone brings it up at a press conference. I'm going to go get myself a media pass. Maybe I'll bring it up soon. No telling what I might do. Furthermore, Dana White goes in on Jon Bones Jones, and he essentially checked him in a way, right? Like Jon's been saying, hey, I was ready to fight. You know, I wanted a little bit more money than they were offering, but I'm fine. I would have beat that guy up, all that. And Dana goes, listen, man, I assigned my men to go out and bring me all the fights available. Jon Jones was never going to fight on the White House card because I make the final decisions. I'm the big boss. So whatever Jon thinks, that's not accurate. I sent my men out just to see what was out there. They talked to Jon, but I was never going to have Jon on. So, man, is that the end of Jon Jones in the UFC? Will they release him, or are they playing hardball, guys? This might be a negotiating tactic to get Jon to come down to $15 million because that's what they offered him to fight Alex Pereira at the White House. And by they offered him, I'm assuming that's Hunter Campbell, who is essentially the lawyer slash kind of matchmaker for the UFC, not Dana himself. They brought the fight. Hey, we got the plan was to offer him 15 mil. John says yes. Then they go to Dana. Hey, we've got John available for 15 mil to fight Alex Pereira. And then Dana can say yes or no. Dana's claiming he would have said no, even if they would have got the fight available. John saying, hey man, I wouldn't have fought for 15 million. You need to pay me more. I think the fight is worth more. Dana didn't even think it was worth 15 million, apparently, even if John would have said yes. Also, man, this is what I want to talk to you guys about. Dana has also said that they had a meeting, that Dana had a meeting with Nate Diaz, that there was some talks going on about Nate returning to the UFC. And he says that MVP must have made him an offer he couldn't refuse. We call that a Godfather offer. We're going to make you an offer you can't refuse. And so they must have backed the whole Brinks truck up. I'm hearing that Nate got offered 10 mil for the UFC. So whatever they paid him at MVP must have been more or better terms, because there's price and there's terms. So if they want to pay you X, but they want all these requirements and they want to lock you in a contract, those are the terms. X is the price, then there's the terms. MVP might have hit him with the same 10 mil with no terms. Like, hey, it's a one and done. You can be a free agent after. We're not trying to lock you up. Maybe you fight Jake Paul in MMA after for 20 mil. Like, who knows what they offered him. But Dana says that it's an offer he must not have been able to refuse. And Dana left the door open to Nate coming back. Oh my gosh, man, I'm so glad I remembered this for you guys. If you guys didn't see it, at the press conference, they asked Dana about the Conor McGregor versus Ian Gary fight. And Dana said, I believe they were asking if it's going to be in like Ireland or something. And Dana said, oh no, the Conor and Ian Gary fight's not going to be in Ireland. And then he like just went on to continue talking about something else. What's up? What's up? Ned Day's got 10 million and Mike got, you saying Mike got 5? Good for him, man. I hope that's true. I hope he got 5. That's a big fight. That's the biggest fight on the card in a way, right? Like in terms of actual stuff that MMA fans want to see. It's fun to watch Francis, but Francis is going to KO this guy. They got a replacement guy in there. I don't even know who the replacement is, right? They just I didn't know who the first dude was. I just know that he had won 4 fights in the UFC, but he had also fought at light heavyweight, so he's coming up in weight. He's gone, and they got another dude coming in. And let's be real, man, Francis is probably going to steamroll through that guy. So as cool and fun as that is, the real fight everybody wants to see is Nate and Mike Perry, especially if they keep it on the feet. In my past 2 lives, I've talked about what's going to happen if it goes to the ground, because I've trained we have mutual, training partners. A lot of insight on that. So if you haven't seen those lives, go watch those lives. But yeah, I hope Mike Perry got 5 mil, man. He's out there banging it out in bare knuckle. He deserves some money. And every time I see him in person, he's always super cool. And he's super cool with my guy Felony, Charles Bennett, too. So shout out to Mike Perry. Platinum Mike Perry. Don't go to the ground with Nate Diaz, bro. Okay, please, keep it standing. Furthermore, they also, so that fight, so Dana left the option open for Nate to come back. And then he also said that it's Conor versus Ian Gary without intending to say that. They were asking him about fights and locations, and he kind of seemed like he slipped up and, leaked the fact that the Ian Gary Conor McGregor fight is not happening in London, implying that that's the fight they're making and it's going to happen somewhere else. So if you guys missed that at the press conference, quick off-topic question. Do you think they have replacement fighters lined up and someone, they need to. They need to. Listen, man, I'm trying to get on the replacement fight for the Nate Diaz, Mike Perry. Let's go, guys. No, I'm just playing around. But, yeah, they got to, right? They must. I mean, this is called big business, right? You know what? They probably don't, honestly. I would hope they do. They probably don't. So that was another conspiracy theory. In the conspiracy theory video I did, if you go back and look at my lives, there's a conspiracy theory video, and I talk about that one. That it's called White House Conspiracy Theories, and it's that Dana and Ronda are friends, and that Ronda's going to pull out last minute and ruin the Netflix card because she's dear friends with Dana. And this is all 5D chess. You know, what people say about Trump, he's playing 5D chess. And Dana's boys with Trump. Anyways, it's a whole conspiracy theory. And then we get into other conspiracy theories in that video too. Let's get Felony onto the MVP card. Dude, let's start a petition to get Felony on the MVP card. We should do that. We should get on Jake Paul's ass about that. I believe that Felony has enough people who love Felony and want to see him fight that we could do it. The issue is, how do we organize everybody, guys? There's 10 million fan pages of Felony. Everybody's following the wrong pages. His real pages are Felony Charles Bennett 352. People are following like Felony fans and, you know, the name he used to go by previously fans and all these fan pages, man. We got to get the guy's social media out there, and we got to get a petition going to get him on MVP. Let's run it up. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting that Ian Gary versus Conor is kind of borderline leaked, if that's the fight that they're intending, or at least Dana's talking about it unintentionally at the press conference. So I don't know, guys. It might be Ian Machado Gary versus Conor McGregor International Fight Week. I don't know. I think Conor can get it done, man. I think Conor can get it done. And maybe that's biased because I don't like the way that Ian Gary lets his wife treat him. I mean, it's his wife. It's his own life. He can do whatever he wants. But to me, it's just not the lifestyle that I would like to see my boys living, you know. And I would hope Conor KOs him stiff, man. What would be better than that, guys? Ian Gary coming out here thinking he's all tight and then just get KO'd by a 40-year-old Conor McGregor, or however old Conor is. So, yeah, man, those are kind of the fights. I'm going to hop off this live. I've been intending to do a live every day, and I've been consistent with that. But my dear friend Camerai is over here. We're watching Power Slap. We got it on repeat. Man, these chicks are just slapping. Okay, so here's the last thing I'm going to leave you with, guys. First of all, go to Studio Millions and Fight Circus. But before I hop off this live, the key to watching Power Slap, right? I never watched it before. I wouldn't watch it because I was like, this is like CTE on a plate, right? Like, but here's the thing. I can't care about these people's CTE more than they do. So if you can get your head wrapped around not caring about their CTE more than they do, they don't care about their CTE. Tune into Power Slap, watch Power Slap. It's extremely funny. It's entertaining. It's fun. And all you got to do is just not care about them more than they care about themselves, which they're down bad and they don't care, man. And they're out here and they're choosing head trauma. So shout out to everybody at Power Slap, man. Nothing but love for you guys, man. It's super entertaining. And I'm going to be back in Vegas tomorrow. We'll get a proper show going. I love you guys. Make sure you tap notifications so you know when I'm going live next, because as you can see, it's very random. All right. Love you guys. Peace.